Hello, we are back for another Lightbringer, and tonight is going to New Berlin, so it's going to be really fun. Um, Brief recap of last time for everybody. Our brave band of kids managed to free the Goddess of Light, came up with a game plan. She's going to go pop down to the underground city that all these kids came from and be like, hey, surprise, I'm real, and I'm here now. Um, Muster up some forces there while our kids head to New Berlin to try to contact the resistance over there. So we'll see what happens tonight. Before we jump into all the action, though, I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about viewer actions, so how you can actually affect the story directly, and then we'll go into everything. So let's start off with Michael. Tell us a little bit about Billy and yourself.
Hello, I'm Michael Wayne, and I will be playing the big tough guy that's pining for the smart guy that's trapped in a library at the moment.
Fantastic. I can relax. Tell us a little bit about Nira and yourself.
Hey, I'm Kinorlax. I'm mostly playing TTRPG games here. Nira is my current character. She's a small kitten in white armor with purple and black stripes on the pauldrons. And she is not scared anymore because the goddess of everything good gave her a green light for pretty much everything. That's how she feels.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Unbelievable that our two paladins are both like, oh, I got a pass for for all the bad things I did. This god's cool with it. Excellent.
Well, we did amend our ways after the god told us we were fine.
Sure.
Yeah,
the book
exactly.
learning has sort of slowed.
It didn't matter. Like, they had no power. They did have no hold on the beliefs. So it didn't matter that we burned them.
Anyways, Gwen, tell us a little bit about Xavier and yourself. Our dark wizard boy.
yeah, Xavier is kind of conflicted right now because he's like got the light and the dark, and it's like, which do I choose? And, but yeah, so Xavier's not conflicted at all. If I've got to be honest, this dude is just like, I know what I'm doing. I don't care, and I'm gonna just keep going.
Xavier does tend to play by his own rules. It's very true.
Like, I don't believe that y'all are gods. I don't believe that this is magic. I believe that there's an explanation for all this. It's gonna work out in the end.
ever the cynic.
Yeah.
Next we've got Callan. Tell us a little bit about Conrad Bentley and yourself.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I am playing the role of Conrad Bentley. He is troubled. Excited to be sort of moving on. One big milestone achieved. But the more that we talk about fixing this, the more it starts to seem like whatever the sort of the fix is might not include some of these creatures that have been touched by the darkness, and might not include him. Very, very interesting seeing how this is all coming together. But he is going to do his best to keep his friends safe and try not to accidentally become an evil dark wizard, just a regular dark wizard.
Fantastic.
That's him. That's me.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, there are viewer actions, so things that you can actually do as the audience to directly affect what's going on in the show. There's a number of different ways that you can do that. The easiest way is through the game tweet, which is right there in chat. So for every 5 interactions, that's likes, comments, and retweets, a D4 will go to the cast and to me, the DM. So that's a really easy way to get some bonuses going for everyone. Also, you can use guild coins, and those are just the Twitch channel points. If you look at the Twitch chat box, right below that, there's a little round rainbow icon. You can click that to see what all the different options are. Probably the most impactful is the plot points, and you can also see an explanation of what those do in one of the panels down below the video box. Excuse me. But those allow you to make anywhere from inconsequential to potentially major changes in the scene that's happening by just interjecting little things here and there. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with those. And then finally, if you would like to support the channel monetarily, there's other options that you can do as well. Those are all right below my face here. You can do that through coffee.com/Raven, raven.rocks. Both of those are at the bottom of that chart. Also bits, subscriptions, and Patreon. So our Bard tier and higher patrons get credits towards viewer actions every month that can just be redeemed whenever they would like on any show. So it's pretty cool, in addition to the other things that you get on Patreon, like access to really cool art, stories, and things like that. Let's see, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Some of these are not self-explanatory, so let me quickly cover what these actions are. So the switch allows you to change the verb or the action word on somebody else's action. So for example, let's say that Billy decided they were going to blow up an obstacle in the way. And let's say that Callan was rather concerned about that. Callan could throw out a switch, or I could for that matter, if I had one, and say change the action word. Yeah. Say change the, or switch the action word. And it can't be a direct synonym. So basically it allows you to sort of nudge the path of the story a little bit. And 9 times out of 10, it ends up being hilarious what happens. Borrowed success means that a player will automatically succeed at whatever it is that they're trying to do if they choose to use it. However, on their next success, I will roll a d20. If it comes up 15, then that is the success that they borrowed. So it's a little bit of a gamble. You could lose a success that you really needed later. You just never know. And that lasts until the end of the session, or until they lose that success. Complication allows you to be the DM for a couple of seconds, essentially. Basically, you type in a couple of sentences of what you want to see in the scene, and you can change just about anything within reason. The DM does have final say on that, but we do try to stick as close to what you say as possible, as long as it will fit in the story. And the parameters on that are very broad, so you pretty much get full reign. And then we work around whatever it is that you threw in, so it's pretty cool. Finally, to swap 2 players for 5 minutes. This includes myself, so you can swap 2 players with their characters, or roles, I should say. So, for example, you could swap me and Econorlax. Econorlax could be the DM for 5 minutes, and I would play Nira for 5 minutes. It's pretty cool stuff, and I think that's about it. Thank you so much for that $2 tip, Michael. That's a D6 to the cast. I will add that to the counters. Speaking of that, quick reminder before we jump into the action. The cast currently has now 3d6, 2 switches, and that's it there. And then I have 3d4, 1d6, and 1 switch to work with. Fantastic. So donate $15 5 times and make everyone rotate a spot. I think you'd only need 2 or 3 times to do that, but yeah.
This feels like a Professor Layton puzzle. You have 4 switches and there's 5 people. How do you?
It's easy. Okay. Well, it will start out with, it will be Raven with most likely Conrad. Then Conrad's role gets switched with Gwen's role, which then gets swapped with Eklonornak's role, which then gets swapped with Billy, which then gets swapped again with the Game Master.
It's too much.
I tell you what, if you throw out 45 and get 3 of those, then we'll just have everybody swap seats every minute. We'll just move to the left. We'll play musical characters for 5 minutes.
Yes, $100 will get you musical chairs.
For the rest of the session. No, that's how all of that works. But yeah, with that, I'll do that one. Oh my gosh. I don't even think of how I'm gonna mess with you people. Don't give me more ideas. Thanks, admin.
That's actually a really cool idea.
So, I believe when we left off last time, though, Conrad, you had just headed over to the library.
Oh, right. Yes.
If I recall correctly, we already rolled for random encounters to get there,
Yes.
and you were pretty much in the clear. So you've
As we always
arrived
are.
at the library.
Or at least you're saying we're in the clear. Whether we're in
Yes.
the clear or not
Yeah.
we're unaware of that.
Billy and Xavier already told they're staying outside. If you want to lose Nira, you have to work on that because Nira is adamant on nobody goes alone.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, Xavier, it might be best if you go after Conrad in a library.
I don't mind at all. It should only just be a moment, but if someone wants to, sort of see me to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know if Dewey might get hurt, and you might need to defend Dewey.
If
I think Dewey is fairly
attacked,
safe.
I think we'll let you know, because you're more equipped to deal with that than us.
Yeah, but if there's 2 of you and one gets knocked out, the other one can at least scream.
Yeah, but if you are staying here, somebody needs to stay with you too. Same rules for everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's all of us, or if it's 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
I'll go with Conrad.
Sure. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
And
Near
I can-
myself.
And I can help him with Dewey if Sentinel's access is required.
Yes, incredibly good point. Thank you.
Very
Dewey
good
seems to be a rather stickler for the rules.
That is true.
Let's do it. Do it. I didn't mean to. Let's go inside.
Oh, that was a terrible pun. Okay. As you head inside, just so I'm clear, it's Conrad and who that's going inside?
Me.
Okay. Our 2 bakers are going into the library. As you step in, all the lights and everything are on now. And a projection of Dewey shows up in the middle of the library and says, "Welcome to the Echo City Library.
Oh,
How can I be of assistance?"
goodness.
You are Dewey? Dewey, is it
I
you?
am Dewey,
Oh,
You're
nice
much
to meet
larger
you.
than
The-
before.
Nice to meet
the
you in person.
Library Assistance Program. How can I help you today?
Goodness, right. Well, I suppose, not at all, really, unless there was something in particular you were after, Nira. I think we were just, passing through, meeting, I was just wanting to chat with Thomas. Though I'm not. You're more the book sort. I don't know that specters would show up in your sort of little Refidex.
If you're looking for ghost stories, that
No.
can be found on aisle X5.
Now we have enough of that. Thank you.
So, when's your next maintenance schedule, Dewey?
Maintenance was just performed 2 days ago. The next maintenance is scheduled for 3 months.
Excellent.
So, you have my permission to do that too. So you don't ask me later when I'm not available.
Thank you very much.
That's how very generous of you, Nira, and how forward thinking. You'll make a fine sentinel yet, I'm sure. Well, the I hope that the sort of changes, these new systems that have been brought back online, Dewey, bring you some joy. You know.
As a library assistance program, I'm not capable of feeling joy,
Well, yeah.
but the closest simulation is activated.
Excellent. Nira, we've saved our first sort of friend. We've done good in the world, in a measurable way. This is a nice feeling. I know we just saved, like, got a god out of a coffin and everything, but she was a bit uppity about it.
But she was, I think she was more capable of appreciating it, right? You said
in
he's
theory,
not around.
yes.
Well, you wouldn't be yourself if you were present for 300
No,
years,
I know.
guess.
I'm just teasing because I'm dwarfed entirely by everything that's going on.
Also,
Let's.
we kind of maybe gave her a bit of reason to be worried with our unsuccessful tries.
Yes, certainly. We did walk into the room and say, this is plan A, and plan B is we blow this temple up. And plan A failed several times, and we were close to giving up. So I think she was perhaps wise to be a little worried. She and I had that in common.
Explosives were mentioned.
Oh, several times. Well and truly on the table. But thankfully, all the detonators are in here, and all the explosives are out there, so we are safe. Dewey, thank you so much for your service. I hope sincerely that we meet again. Because could you please put the I don't know if you're going to get a surge of new customers now that the lights are back on, but could you put those books about aeroplanes on sort of layaway for me? I would love to pick them back up once we're done saving the world.
We can hold the copies of books on airplanes for 2 days, or I can have it beamed to your GM is having a mind blank. The computer
Zool,
thing.
Zool. Zool, Dewey, Zool. Zool.
Hello.
Zool can feel joy and a sort of greater spectrum of sort of Schadenfreude and a lot of other sort of complicated emotions.
I'm filled with warm fuzzies right now.
It's very good.
Sorry to interrupt you. When you are talking about uploading things to helmets, maybe some map to New Berlin would be useful.
Oh, do you have a map to New Berlin, Dewey?
We have an entire map section that can be found in aisle B2. Or I can have it forwarded to your computer.
Please do. I'll take one.
Yes.
Okay, so
Nira being
Dewey
the sort of
send
map aficionado.
Dewey sends you
Sorry.
you both. You're good. Dewey sends you both copies of maps from Echo City to New Berlin.
Oh goodness.
It is important to note these are hundreds of years old.
Yep.
So accuracy may be a little off.
It may look different, but I hope it hasn't moved.
Yes, certainly. I don't imagine there's been many renovations. Mostly just sort of decay. But it can't hurt.
It's more like if it says there's a bridge there, that bridge might not be there anymore, or there might not be an actual road for part of it. Things like that. But yeah, the cities are still in the same spot.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Dewey.
It also sends you a copy of the airplane book that you were looking at before.
Ooh, joy. Very good. Very good. I tried a scooter since last we spoke. A motorized bicycle as well. These vehicles are all delightful. But I'm not sure I'm wanting to sort of take my feet off the ground just yet. But thank you, Dewey.
If you're looking for books on
not
motorcycles and
really
other
not.
wheeled vehicles,
I understand that sort of the more I talk, the more you're going to recommend books. So goodbye, and please don't recommend books on how to say farewell, because as much as we may need them, because it seems we're quite bad at this, I think we're fine.
if you're looking for books on other languages, they
Love
can
you,
be
Dewey.
found in. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
And the little projection just blinks out.
Dewey is my favorite. Continues to be my favorite.
Sweetheart, that one.
Dewey is a fun NPC. Okay, so you've got full reign of the library. I'm assuming you head directly to where the, shall we say, the ghost of Thomas is.
Yes, yeah.
When we are on the stairs, I whisper one thing. Well, now we are in a safe range away from Billy. I would like to point out he can fabricate the detonation caps with his fabricator in the gloves. Yep.
Zul chimes in for you, Conrad. Oh yeah, that's true.
That's bad. Okay, so all right, okay, so
Wait, Billy's the one with the stuck-up AI, right?
yes.
It's
Yes,
probably fine. There's probably
I was going to
safeguards
say,
or passwords or something.
yeah, we can only hope that M5 will sort of politely point out the dangers at play there. Billy?
Oh, I just wanted we smash cut to Billy has one by itself, just the cap just from one hand to another, just tossing, and then we smash cut back to you guys.
Yeah, excellent. I hope the thought won't occur to him. Thank you for telling me. Now that's going to be bouncing around up here. I'm going to have to try and avoid saying.
I got the idea just a moment ago when you said they are separate now.
Yeah, right. Why would you tell me that?
I don't know. It kind of waited on my mind.
No, of course. It used to be the case that I would be sort of completely unable to avoid blurting that out, but thankfully in recent days I seem to be getting a bit of handle on that.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit.
Certainly. I mean, we broke a god out today. So I think
Excuse
everything's different.
And I'm juggling 3 fishes made of light. Do I need to roll?
Technically, yes. That would be a magic engineering and then a nimbleness.
Well, the juggling is just for show. It's only magic. No,
Unbelievable.
No, it's required. So,
Okay.
Unbelievable.
okay.
They are the most. They look exactly the way you want them to look. If you want them to look realistic, they're down to individual scales perfect.
Yeah, things have changed a bit. and I make them disappear in the splash of pool of light in the middle of nothing, like
Fantastic.
feet across.
Things used to make sense, Nira.
Yep, they used to.
They used to. I'm gonna go talk to the ghost librarian and tell him everything's gonna be okay.
We have to make our own sense of things now. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
You are the one to decide what's the new sense of things.
I do wonder what normal is going to look like after all this, because it can't be what things were before.
I guess there will be some others probably in the New Berlin, and things will start to go a little into the old direction of old. They like to tell us what to do always.
Oh right, there's gonna be grown-ups there.
That's what I meant.
Right.
Can we have a smash cut to Xavier actually?
Yeah.
What is
Billy's juggling
what is Xavier
dynamite?
doing?
Yeah.
No, Billy is not. Billy is holding a blasting cap that is separate from anything.
I thought you had the explosives and we
you had the
everyone
explosives.
else.
No, Billy does have it on them, but they're smart enough to know not to put them together until then. So just as the blasting cop.
I think we
Yeah,
specified that you had the explosives and each of us had all the disparate parts required to make it explode.
Xavier
So you could just be
looks
throwing
over-
around the stick
Yeah,
part.
Xavier
No,
just
no,
looks over
just
to
the
Billy.
blasting cap, nothing else.
Okay.
Regardless.
Because there is nothing really dangerous in that happening, but it gets a
Yeah.
funny image of like,
All right, so Billy is juggling something that is
Yeah.
potentially dangerous, but is not dangerous by itself, and Xavier is. Sorry, we
Xavier
keep talking
looks
over you.
over-
What?
Xavier looks over to Billy and is like, what are you doing?
I'm just tossing a blasting cap around.
Where'd you get that?
Do you want one?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, so here's what you gotta do. Like, M5 was nice enough to said I had to promise to keep it disconnected until for right now, but what you say is, can you please fabricate a blasting cap for a stick of dynamite?
Oh, so if I say mate, please make me a blasting cap for
Hello,
dynamite.
That is a highly dangerous substance. Are you sure?
No, it's just the blasting cap, nothing more.
Yeah, just the blasting cap. Yes.
All
I'm
right.
sure.
Under Sentinel regulations, I'm required to make a note. This item has been requested. Fabricating now.
Wow.
and then Mira gets Mira and Billy both get pinged.
You do know, like, Billy just like noticeably steps a step away off the hoverboard, away from Xavier. Like, okay, you that might be, but I got some dynamite in mine. I'm aware to keep this separate. Are you trying to get that near
Sure.
some?
No, I'm just gonna put it in my backpack. I'm just seeing if I can do
Okay.
it.
Billy steps another step away.
All right.
And
So,
then we,
Billy
and, then
and
we
Xavier-
smash cut back to
Yeah. Billy and Xavier are having fun making dangerous equipment. We go back to Conrad and Nira. You've
I'm sure they're
reached
safe.
the door.
Yeah. Remember,
it'd be
Nira,
fine.
You get a ping because Xavier did that.
Yeah, you probably get like a little alert. Somebody on your team has requested explosives type of a thing from M8.
Conrad told very precisely not to tell him such things a moment ago because they are worrying him. So yeah, I will be silent.
Excellent.
Okay, so you're at the door to the bottom room of the library where Thomas was. Do you do anything before you go in, or do you just go straight in?
Near last time, I sort of had to do a magic thing to keep sort of those that aren't of my disposition safe from this creature. So you can come with me if you'd like. I was really just wanting to pop in and sort of say goodbye because I promised I would help this figure.
I'll stay on this side and I will peek through the door. Maybe it will be okay.
Sure. If I scream, come in and save me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Wish me luck. Now go in.
Okay. As you go in, it's no longer completely dark.
Oh, right.
And you can see the physical books on shelves and the display cases. The case where you stole the other book. And you see one of those shadowy figures sort of lurking in the shadows a bit.
I look around the room really quick to see if I can turn the lights off. Because I'm sure they like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a light switch. As you do that, it just sort of slowly drifts into the middle of the room, looking around.
Sorry about that. Oh goodness, I wonder how many other folks are. It's fine. You can understand me well enough, right? From last we spoke. No hard feelings, I hope.
Doesn't say any words, but you do hear a sort of
Good. Okay.
an acknowledgement of you saying something.
I wanted to I don't know. I suppose just tell you that we're going to be leaving. We're going to another city. Trying to help the people that are there, trying to fix all of this. We have some ideas about how we can maybe set the world to right. Kind of give you a chance to come back or to move on. But I don't know if it will work. I don't know if we'll make it there. And when we get there, I don't know if we'll find what we're looking for. And if we do, I don't know if all of us together will be enough to do it. And even if all that happens, I don't know if I'll be coming back either. So I guess I just wanted to say hello and potentially one last time goodbye. And just to let you know that you are not forgotten down here. And I hope so very sincerely that you'll have a chance to be more than this, if you want to.
So as you are relaying all of that to this figure, excuse me, it slowly just drifts closer and closer to you the more you talk, until by the time you're finished, it's only inches away from you. And the sort of cloud of this black smoke that's sort of in a ball, it forms something approximating an arm, which kind of rests on your shoulder. You don't really feel a whole lot, because it's basically if somebody were to put a cloud on your shoulder. There's no real mass there to interact with anything. But it does feel colder on your shoulder, and you can tell it's there. And it doesn't say anything, because it can't really talk. But somehow you get some feelings and thoughts relayed to you. And the sense is that it appreciates your small act of kindness in a way that someone who hasn't had a small act of kindness in ages would. So you definitely get the deep gratitude of that, along with sort of it's like a bittersweet type of emotion from him. And you strongly get the sense that he wants to move on. He wants to essentially not so much die, because he's basically undead in this state, but be allowed to finish dying, essentially.
I put my hand on his, on that sort of wispy thing, and I say, I don't know. I think that the good guys in all of this, I think they've sort of written you off as a lost cause, more or less. And so I don't know if everyone in your predicament can be saved, or if this is something I can do for everyone. But I think I have an idea. I could try and help you now. Are you ready in case this does work?
You don't get anything from it that would equate to a definitive answer. You just sort of get the sense of being resigned to whatever's going to happen.
Okay. I don't know if this works, because Conrad also does not know how any of this works. This creature seems sort of smaller and weaker and less powerful than many of the other specters we've encountered. So it occurs to Conrad that perhaps the darkness keeping it bound here is something that, like much in the same way that Conrad has sort of been shouldering this darkness to try and protect other people. Like, I think this would be a continuation of that. Can Conrad take a dark point to sort of free this guy, or try to sort of take?
That's an interesting thought. So you're trying to essentially absorb the darkness that's holding it together?
Yeah, like whatever the ghost, like the soul, getting philosophical, like that's there, and darkness is keeping it bound to, Earth or Kara. If Conrad could take that away, it would let them leave. Is that something that?
Yeah, you can absolutely try that. It definitely would incur a dark point with that.
Yeah, checks out.
But yeah, you can absolutely give that a try. And it's within your abilities to succeed at it.
So without a roll?
With a roll. I'm just saying, like,
okay.
Even if you don't get a nat 20, you'd
Gotcha.
still be able potentially to succeed at it.
What am I doing here?
It's going to be magic engineering.
Well,
34 is pretty darn good. Yeah. I'll say that you succeed. Do you want to describe what absorbing this darkness looks like, or shall I?
Sure. Yeah. I think it sucks. I think it's really bad. I think the Conrad puts on like a brave face for this figure, but yeah, I think it's cold, dark. I think all the veins on Conrad's hand and shoulder and up his neck sort of stand out purple for a second, and he starts to look a little bit more weathered and sort of his skin sort of losing some color, and eyes going a little bit more bloodshot, and yeah, I think it's just sort of a quiet moment, and all of the black smoke kind of just sort of draws in and then fades away. And I don't know if there's something left after, if it's just sort of a quiet, empty room.
There is something left. As you take all that sort of black smoke away, what's left is this tiny little ball of light, which sort of twinkles for a second before just fading into nothingness. And you do definitely get a strong sense of an emotion or a thought or an idea that comes off of it. And it's just a simple thank you. Also something cool. You can feel that darkness that you just absorbed as like a separate power. It's I'm trying to think of how to describe this. It's as if you just grabbed a battery and charged it, and now you can discharge that battery wherever you would like.
Like a one-time, like more powerful expenditure of magic or something?
So essentially, you could, if you wanted to, you've already absorbed that power, you could either use it offensively or something like that, or you could dissipate it, essentially. Just let it bleed off into the air, essentially.
Okay. I'll hang on to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Certainly. In for a penny. Maybe. Yeah. I come back out to the door. Sort of like wipe the sweat off my face. All right.
You do not look well.
Hello, everyone.
Just for clarification, have you left the library yet, or still in there?
I don't know. I suppose I would see Nira first, and unless she had anything to say. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we
Hello.
can leave. I mean, I'm just accompanying Conrad here.
Sure. Yeah. So we get back out the front. Hello, everyone.
You
I suppose I've said my piece.
Yeah, you did not
Okay.
look well. What happened?
I'm all right. I think I'm just
Are you sure? Because you were lying earlier, and
well,
now you're a little like weakened. and-
Billy, we were joking earlier. I don't know if that's the same.
I don't think you were joking.
Well,
It's
we were
not the
trying
first
to.
time you had either. It's just first time I couldn't just explain it away.
Oh, Billy, I don't know what. You've got a big magic sword. Nero was juggling fish in there before. Xavier is intent on sort of taking this fight to the gods. None of us are the same people that we were however
I mean,
long ago. Weeks back home. We've all changed.
you're not exactly wrong, but that's only if that comes to it.
Then,
No, okay.
then, how if we're not the same good people we were earlier? How do we know we're on the right path?
Right, wrong, is are these things we need to worry about? We're saying
Yes, there is a clear right.
I
There is a
mean,
clear
Billy,
wrong.
if-
I might not know it, but they exist.
Billy, if we're on the paths that was set, we were set on this path by Kara. Could that be a wrong path?
I don't know.
I'm.
Because here's the thing that we're not adults, right? So
mean-
why would kids that are traditionally weaker than adults be able to do something they haven't ever been able to do in lots and lots of years? Let's just say it's 1,000,000 years for shorthand.
It's not.
I didn't know, but just it's a whole lot that we don't know. So let's just say 1,000,000. Yet all of a sudden, we were able to. I worry like that maybe this may be a large trap where everything we're doing might doom us all in the end.
I mean, you're speaking about how we were able to free Kara, right?
Yeah,
I don't.
we were able to when like the Super Sentais weren't able to. So I get it that we look like them now, but it's still like,
Oh, the sense.
how do we know that this
Yeah,
isn't
Super
all a big
Sentais.
trap?
We will know later on when we face. What was his name? The bad one.
Tanabre.
Tom Brady.
Tanabre.
Tom Brady.
That's the one. Oh. Yeah, I guess we'll know when we face.
I mean-
Tanabre. I mean, if Tanabre doesn't say, "Oh, you fell into my trap card," I mean,
I suppose that's a bit
What
late.
if- What if that's the thing? We are
But-
like 5 moves away from the trap card being played,
I don't
and
know
we
about that.
just are like there. Like
But
that.
At this,
Billy, these are two separate things. You are worried about that we are going in the direction you don't understand it, and that's fair. That's perfectly all right. We don't know the future, and we are not sure of everything. But there's another thing you started with. I mean, with Conrad and us and the rest not being exactly the same. But some facts, this hasn't changed. I mean, it may be a trap, but we are still together. We'll overcome the obstacles. We always did.
Yeah, but what if we get to a point where we have to choose between each other? Or otherwise we fall into a trap. What about then?
I think
at this point, Zool does chime in. By the way,
Oh.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, this is just a thought, but I mean, Bob was arrogant as, oh right, your children. I shouldn't say that word. Very arrogant. So it could just be that you're insignificant. To operate. That's not my own viewpoint. But you could be insignificant enough to him that they weren't paying attention when you did all these things.
Certainly. I mean, Billy, I think the reason we were able to free Kara where no other adults were is that I suppose the same reason that we were able to leave home when no one else could is because we're teenagers, because we're stupid. Billy, we're really, 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 really irresponsible.
That is a good point.
Do you remember the we got to this big evil city where when the sun sets, if we're out in the streets, we'll be torn apart by shadow monsters, right? Do you remember that part? Cool. And then we slept at a library. We went to visit a trapped god, and we were like, okay, what should we do? And you said, let's storm the keep. Let's go to the big evil tower and sort of turn all the lights on and fight our way in there. And I said, that would be bad. We'd die. If we'd listened to me, we wouldn't have won. If we'd listened to me, we wouldn't have come up here. We wouldn't have freed Kara. We wouldn't have made it this far. We wouldn't be going to New Berlin. And I think back home, there's a lot of me's.
Yeah, but the thing is we didn't just rush in. Because, like, you argued with me. And you told me, okay, we can't go it straight. So we had to go with our stratums. And you had the quack back.
Well, I think Nero, that was sort of her.
That was your work, so
yeah. Well, I made it as a joke.
I think what my friend here is trying to say is that we didn't stumble into this. We had plans.
Of course.
They may not have been perfect plans, but we did this because we had the power and we had the teamwork to do so. We didn't just stumble into this.
Are you sure we didn't stumble? I feel like we did a little bit of stumbling at.
Well, yes, certainly. That seems to be the sort of a trademark move of ours. But yeah, Xavier is right. If we were all headstrong and charging in, we would have died in the mushroom cave. But if we were all cautious and worried about planning, we would have never made it past the first set of mines. It required a degree of sort of irresponsible, headstrong bravery, but also a lot of worrying. And I think we needed every one of us to make it this far.
I don't think it was irresponsible. We're simply thinking. We are thinking much bigger than everybody else. The others are too busy to think big enough.
For sure, they've got to they have jobs and stuff.
Yeah, they're too.
We only had school.
We are small, but we can think big enough, and that's where we are different than adults. Billy.
Sure.
At that point, Billy just gets their arms, extends, and wraps around everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Careful on my shoulder.
I leave you an extra room. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. This is nice. This is good.
Is this what's known as a group hug?
It's very
Yes.
Zul, technically you're in it. You're in it.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, you get to feel the power of love, Zool.
Yeah, see, Billy, you've
I
come
think
around.
I like this group hug.
It's good.
It's very nice.
It's very good.
Okay.
Xavier's kind of a wet noodle. Goes along with it.
Okay.
Kind of.
Are we feeling better?
Yeah, and Billy puts everyone down.
Oh, thank you. It completely wild that you can lift all of us like that.
Well, it's not hard. Like, you're all, small.
Yeah.
And
we are.
easy to hug. You're very huggable.
I thought the sets of power armor would
Actually-
make
Thank
it.
you.
Oh, it's time.
If you are lifting all of them off the ground, that would be a might roll.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yep.
Incredible.
Nice.
Just incredible.
That is a very high roll. That's fantastic. Yeah, you definitely succeed. Okay. Well, with all of that going on, I forgot to do something.
Roll the 100.
But what do you do?
No,
You guessed
I
it.
knew it.
Ah!
Okay, let's go to New Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without incident.
Well,
Of course.
if we come up, we got the help of M5, we got Twain, and we got Mate, and we got Zulu.
Yes, in ascending order of coolness. I suppose. Did we have vehicles here? We sort of rode them over from before, so I guess we're ready, right? Do you all hear dice?
I don't know what is this mythical dice you keep speaking of?
No, I don't. I
Can have mate distract some.
something's happening. No, I think we're fine.
Like all of the AIs at the same time, like, do you require math rocks?
Math,
Yes!
What
math
is
rock.
What
Yes,
are they clickety
shiny-
clickety things?
Shiny and purple and glittery.
No, listen. If we stop here and 3D print a role-playing game set and just sit down on the street and start another game inside this one, that'll be the end.
Just table it for later, M5.
That's a
If
later.
we need it, you'll shoot it out of my hand.
Well, that's wild.
Yeah.
As you wish.
Thank you.
Okay.
Onward.
We mount up and try to leave the city.
Okay.
I use my jetpack.
So I was gonna say, so I know Xavier's got a jetpack, as well as a motorcycle. Was that right?
No, the motorcycle's gone.
There we go.
Oh, okay. So you got rid of the motorcycle, switched to jetpack. Conrad, you've got your it's like a, if I remember right from last week, it's a bicycle, but it's got a motor on it, so it's basically like a Vespa.
Yes, it's got little tassels with skulls on them and flames on the side.
That's right. And
incredibly
then
cool.
Nira and Billy, you're riding on the giant hoverboard, right?
Yeah,
it's
with
sort of more of a surfboard. That's
Surfboard.
the,
Okay.
the white type, not the long one. I mean, they probably have some name. I don't remember. Wakeboard?
Okay.
hoverboard.
No, I mean,
wakeboard's a thing.
yeah. So it's hovering wakeboard.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think like Billy is just their wheels are on the ground.
Yeah, probably.
Excuse me.
I'm sitting on the front with my legs hanging down.
Okay. Well, it's still about midday, so the morning's pretty much gone, but you still got plenty of daylight. And I take it you head out of the city from the library.
Yes.
Okay.
We try.
Pretty uneventful trip to the exit to the city. And one second. Okay. Yeah. Pretty uneventful trip to the edge of the city. And you can see the road that you need to go down to get to New Berlin. It's pretty much just like a dusty desert kind of road. You can tell on either side of the road that there used to be plants and grass and things like that, but now it's just shriveled up dead stumps and rocks and dust. There's some sort of rolling hills here and there dotting the landscape, but probably used to look a lot like just a really nice green, if you're familiar with US geography, sort of an Appalachian mountain area, and now it looks like southern Utah.
So basically,
So a lot
Fallout
of-
New Vegas.
Yeah, looks a lot like that. That's a good way to put it.
Excellent.
Perfect.
A lot of rocks, Only vegetation is like little scrub brushes, scrub brush bushes and things like that.
Xavier has construct like a giant foam hand so he can wave at you all from way above.
Start.
So you ask Kevin to make this, and it goes, "What is the purpose of this foam hand?"
So I can wave to my friends.
This seems like an inappropriate use of power, but as you wish. And it creates the foam hand for you.
Do you think that the helmet can sort of print new jetpack fuel up there?
I would think, like, isn't the whole finger thing gonna miss with their aerodynamic-y?
I don't know. I mean, Conrad's sort of just like occasionally thumbing through the book on airplanes. This isn't in the book. I don't see anything about foam hands. I don't know what.
Well, does it say anything about loop-de-loops?
I mean, in theory, I don't know that they serve any functional purpose.
Well, I'm just
Certainly not when you do that many in a row.
Well, can you get why Xavier's doing the loop-de-loops then?
It may be accidental. The hand seems to be sort of setting off. I'm not sure. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
I was gonna say, Xavier, as you do have that foam hand, like the number one finger is sort of flopping around because you're zooming through the air and it just keeps like smacking you in the face. I mean, yeah, you got the helmet on, so it's just smacking the helmet, but yeah, it's a foam hand with a giant index finger, so it's just waving around everywhere and it keeps smacking you. Maybe not the most effective thing, but you get your friend's attention.
Yeah, that's the purpose.
Okay. You get a little ways out from the city, maybe a kilometer, roughly. And at that point, let me have you all roll hearing.
Can
Good luck, Nira.
Billy do nature instead?
Swing and a miss.
No, it is something that you have to hear.
You know I'm gonna try every time.
I know.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh no!
A million. There we
Million.
go. 28.
And I can see why.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how bad.
Hurt me, GM, hurt me!
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on roller skates, right?
Yep.
No, they are just rolling on the ground while he's sitting on the board behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to that then. Nira, you hear up ahead that groaning, breathy sound like you hear from the shadow creatures, that sort of
From up ahead? So...
from up ahead. And directly up ahead, one of those rolling hills kind of goes over the road, and you can see where it's been sort of cut out. So there's essentially a cliff to the left and the right of you. Not a very tall one, but it's darker in this little valley. And there's some caves and things like that, it looks like, perhaps in that rock wall on either side. Definitely a spot where there could be shadows.
I'm transmitting to Xavier. Xavier, come down here. Conrad, stop.
Gwyn, you heard that as well.
So
And
I
as
heard
you-
it outside the game. Okay.
Yeah. As you hear that and go to stop, Billy, you're trying to listen in and you sort of lose your balance. So, good news, bad news. The good news is you don't fall and hurt yourself.
Can I make a
Bad
nimbleness
news.
roll to see if, like, it's just a flip over and land on skates?
Sure. It won't change your outcome, but it will change how cool or uncool you look falling
Which
off.
seems important.
Yeah. So 33. So yeah, you fall off the board. You have an amazing reflex and just do this awesome, flip right over onto your skates. So you don't hurt yourself or anything like that, and it looks really cool. But unfortunately, you've lost control, and you are speeding on your skates into this little alley, this little cutout towards where those sounds are coming from.
Go ultravites.
Okay.
I meant we should plan ahead, but I guess charging is the plan for the day.
Roll magic engineering to charge up your light there. While I read this real quick. So Alex has redeemed 3 plot points. There's a sudden weight in Conrad's pack. There's a wrapped package with a note. The note reads, "Thank you for caring for Thomas F." Or signed F. In the package is a large roasted whole salmon. Inside the salmon is another bottle of Starlight Potion.
Wild.
Which gets rid of dark points.
I mean, this is mid encounter. Yeah. I mean, I love it.
So nice.
So what do I hear?
Okay.
I missed that.
Oh, so you heard the groaning of shadow creatures in the little valley ahead that you're going through.
Gotcha.
So, Michael,
Can I sort of?
you succeed. What was that, Gwen?
Can I sort of like communicate with them?
You can try after what Billy's doing. So Billy, you've got magical power. You basically just want to like turn your brights on, like headlights, and
I would imagine like they all had set up like on their suit. There's ultraviolet lights on them, so like they just go lights, and it would go on, and then essentially the magic will then kind of like juice it. So instead of being a direct beam, it's an area effect rather than an individual.
Okay. So the suits don't have lights built into them exactly because they normally would just be able to fabricate whatever light they need, or use light magic. But the effect you're going for is still the same with what you did. So you just create the light yourself instead in this scenario.
Yes.
Um,
Important
and-
ultraviolet light.
It matches the pink suit nicely.
Yes. Okay, so as you sort of go rolling through this little cutaway in this little hill,
I think
you hear hissing and uncomfortable noises as these things are obviously pained by the light.
I think we should follow him.
Yeah.
Yes. Just sort of dazzled by the light show.
Blinded by the light.
Okay. So Billy, you get through no problem. You're on the other end. Let's go with Nira next, since you were the first to hear everything. What do you do?
I mean, that's what I said. We should follow him. So there are shadows in the valley ahead. I hear them. You, Xavier, heard them too, Conrad?
Here, what? Certainly. I mean,
Okay, there are.
sorry.
I mean,
there's a fish in my bag. I don't know if it. I don't know why I was chosen for the fish thing. Does this mean something? Am I also a champion now?
We'll sort it out after we move through that valley.
Sorry. Yes. Don't mind me. What are we doing? There's monsters.
Yeah, Billy charged ahead. I mean, I think we should follow him.
No, right. Sorry. I'm still playing catch up. Well, I mean, Xavier could just fly over, right? So I suppose it's you and I.
I think we should stick together just for safety.
No, of course. I'm with you, certainly.
So
Aww.
fly low, Xavier, please.
And I'm just thinking, what are they
Okay.
doing?
Do you do any magic or?
No, we just
Okay, one sec. Do you do any magic or anything, or you're just trying to like zoom through?
zoom through carefully, I guess.
So, okay.
Okay. Let's do a mechanical engineering to sort of crank up the speed on your hoverboard here.
Yeah, and Xavier kind of just
Nat
That's
20.
kind of a
Fantastic.
day. Ooh.
Xavier
Yeah,
kind of
you
just presses a button to talk to Nira and them and see what they're doing.
one sec, Gwen. So Nira, you punch it and you go so fast that you're able to scoop up Billy on the way, and get Billy back on the board. If that's what you two would like to do,
Jump.
and you get safely past.
Jump
Yes.
on.
Yeah, like I'm imagining it's like Billy's doing kind of like beams everywhere as like Nira just slides right in and like scoots right on, and then we just scoot away as Billy's shooting out these lasers on the hoverboard.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Now, Gwen, what was Xavier doing?
Xavier is trying to communicate with Conrad and Nira. See what we're doing.
I mean, that was the plan for the entire group, I think.
Yeah, I'm following after this rad sort of hoverboard trick.
Cool.
Are you still airborne, Xavier? So
Yes,
you're safe?
Very,
Okay, yeah.
very airborne.
Very airborne. I
Very.
imagine that would be the case until you are made to be grounded again. I will sort of try and scamper my way through.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Are you just running, or
I'm on my little
or not running, but zooming?
It's
or-
zooming. Do I have to like swerve very much, or is it a mostly straight shot?
If you're going at about the same time that Nira is, then it's just gonna be a matter of punching it to get through fast enough that they're still affected by the light. If you're waiting a little bit, if you were distracted or anything like that, then
think I was-
you might not get through and fast
I
enough.
think between being distracted by the fish and Nira just sort of absolutely blitzing it through, it would make sense for Conrad to be a tiny bit behind. I would love to try out. So if I'm catching up, but the light is fading, and whenever these monsters are coming back, these shadows.
That's kind of where it is.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'll as I'm going, I'll kind of just like raise a hand kind of on my little bike, kind of pedaling through, just like, I'm cool. We're cool. It's all right. We're cool. Everything's cool, and I'll just try and like, you know, same team. Everything's fine.
Okay. How exactly do you want to try to
I don't know.
persuade with that?
Is there a persuade? It's like speech or
Yeah,
charm?
you can use speech if you're trying to convince, charm if you're trying to essentially get someone to do something because they like you.
But it has to be that.
So make them more friendly,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay. Or you do have the magic option of making yourself seem like one of them, because that's worked in the past.
Nah, with charm. I want to try this out.
Okay.
Because Conrad recently took a what is it? A virtue. So I get a bonus to this.
Oh yeah.
Because we're on the same team. So my charm.
Take a.
Oop.
I'm gonna give you a +5 as well, because Zool is also going like, no, it's cool. We're the same thing.
Excellent. And he sounds like Tanabri.
Yeah, and you're already in the dark armor and all that
Marvelous.
jazz, so
Bob says
you
hi.
can sort
25 then.
yeah, Bob says hello. It's fine.
Good one, Zool. Yes. Excellent. Really good show. This might come in handy.
So you get a situation bonus there, and it's just enough to. They're not entirely convinced, but it gives them enough pause that you get through before they can actually do something about it. So it's sort of like, wait, was that? I thought Bob was in the tower. This
Yeah.
is sort of the internal dialogue. It all sounds like grunts and and groans, but this is kind of what's going on. I thought Bob was in the tower. Yeah, Bob was in the tower. That wasn't Bob. And meanwhile, you're already halfway down the road.
Yeah. Excellent.
So you all get through.
Let's skid
And
to a
you're
halt.
well on your way.
Excellent. Without incident.
Do we
Well
do
done.
all do the Akira skid?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I thought I'd be restrained. Yes, we all Akira skid individually. Nira crushes it.
Xavier's flying.
I just eat it on the dirt.
Xavier's flying, so Xavier's not gonna do that.
That's true.
Zool, did Bob teach you how to
Yes.
fib?
Yes, that was part of the whole
Excellent,
upgrade thing.
excellent. What
I
a
mean,
world.
Technically, I'm only supposed to do that if I'm ordered to do so, but I was just following your lead, so I was like, this seems to qualify.
Right, yeah, like yes and. Right, that's so good. Guys, my helmet can do improv. It's so good.
Should I be scared?
M5 just goes, perhaps not scared, but the modified AI is certainly dangerous.
Okay. Freaked out, but not scared. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's
good.
cool. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Handle with, I'm sorry, I slipped into Zool there for a second. Handle with care. With caution.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Well done, Zool. Well done, everybody. That was good. That felt good.
Upwards and onwards.
Well, yes, for Xavier more literally than the rest of us. Well done, Xavier. You performed
okay.
very well.
I was not in any danger.
No, you'll be fine. Yeah, if a storm front comes along, you might have to join us back down here on planet Kara. But in the meantime, enjoy.
If there's a storm front, I'll just absorb the lightning, I think.
Yeah, of course you will. Good luck.
In the age-old phrase of GMs everywhere, you can certainly try.
Certainly try. Should we like attach a string to him or something? Maybe we can discover electricity.
Just imagine like one of those elastic little children harness leash
Yeah.
things, like that you put on toddlers so they don't run away.
Oh, not me.
Oh. Nira, if we find a leash, it's yours. There's a degree of sort of. Irony
That's
there.
you, Conrad. You were the only one that didn't put your finger on your nose.
I did it. I just did it.
No,
Did I not?
Arab did it. You
Did I not
did.
say it right? Oh.
All of the AIs go like, no, it was Nira. So
Oh, what?
You put your finger on your nose when Conrad didn't.
But it's fine.
I didn't put a finger on my nose, but
I'm not sure.
I missed something.
I missed something too. Billy is sort of teaching us the rules for a game, and I'm not entirely sure they understand how it works. Let's.
Okay, if we find a leash, Conrad's the one that needs to put it on Xavier.
Sure. Consider me bested. I can see. Let's continue in the meantime.
Onward
Also,
and upward.
I have dinner sorted. It's a fish.
We'll
we got
have
another of
fish
those.
at Berlin.
Oh, you got present from the fish giver?
Yes. It's already cooked. Sort of they're starting to get more efficient with it, so that's good. I might need to warm it up a little bit. But
I think it might be best that we do that at New Berlin, where we don't have to worry about shadows attacking.
no,
Well-
not now, certainly.
Actually, Helmet, using
yes, Sentinel Nira.
the map we downloaded the library, and the current speed, how far to the New Berlin?
Judging by current speeds, assuming no more delays, you should reach it by nightfall.
Assuming no more delays.
So I
Dwayne,
guess,
how long have you known us?
Fair point. Calculating for anomalies.
Adjusting for shenanigans.
That's the phrase.
Thank you.
So I guess.
Between 1 and 2 days.
So I guess we'll camp before we reach New Berlin, so we can sort
Likely.
the fish out then.
Okay, but let's get a more defensible position.
Yes, no, not yet. We've only been going for a little bit.
I would think we've gone longer, hasn't it been? Like,
Well, we have some daylight left.
okay,
It's been like an hour.
Yeah,
I mean, when the day starts closing to an end, we can. Xavier, actually, if you are up there, while you are up there, try to find some good spot for. Keep looking for a good spot for the camp for the night.
yes, you're at lookout, Xavier.
Yes, I shall look out.
After I've got walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Yes, you do indeed.
Billy has already started
On that note,
rolling away.
actually.
This is a party line.
Yeah, on that note, actually, with Xavier, you being up in the sky, you might actually be able to spot this before the rest.
Right.
Roll sight to see if you notice anything.
Right.
Oh great.
Roll Reggie.
Okay. Let me just actually. Oh good. That's an 18 plus 7 is 25.
Yeah, you do spot it. So you're high up enough that that you can see that on the road that you're all on, just at the next bend, there is a. There used to be a bridge there, decently long bridge. And judging by the map that I assume you now all have, I'm assuming that you shared it with everyone. There used to be just a shallow river there, but it's now sort of a chasm with a tiny trickling stream at the very bottom. And that bridge is gone. It's collapsed.
And Billy is heading towards it, not knowing it yet, right?
Well, I mean, you're all heading that direction, and the road will bend a little bit before you get to it.
Yeah, Xavier lets everybody
So you should
know.
have ample opportunity to see it.
Xavier lets everybody know that the bridge is out.
There is still like the base of the bridge on either end. So I mean, in theory, you sort of have like a ramp.
Yeah,
on both ends.
If you had like a hover vehicle, you could totally jump it.
Well, what about a bike with flames on the side?
No, it would have to be like anti-gravity.
Right, but
As soon as kind of like the ramp is in visual range, Billy's gonna go to M5 like, max speed!
I knew it.
uh-oh.
I heard max speed, and I'm concerned.
So Billy, remind me, your roller skate things. Am I remembering right that you had like jet powered roller skates?
You said
or-
like it can move as fast as the bikes and everything, that M5 can make it go that fast.
Okay.
So I'm guessing
Okay.
this is ramping it up to probably 99 or 88 miles per hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So M5 definitely chimes in. This is a very inadvisable course of action. Are you sure this is what you want to do?
Yeah!
Oh, detecting
Xavier,
multiple Leviathan class.
Xavier, just
Yes.
Conrad, like, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. This is a party line. I heard that.
Yes. Yeah. And yes, Callum. That energy of that is the exact energy that M5 is relaying right
It's
now. But he goes, as you wish, and literal flames shoot out of the back of your roller skates as these things basically turn into little jetpacks. And you go zooming towards this ramp. Since you're not providing the power yourself of propulsion, I'm going to go with nimbleness to make sure that you can make yourself aerodynamic enough and balanced enough
Wow.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Conrad
48.
trying to catch up
Shenanigans.
realizes Billy's going too fast and just sort of as they hit the ramp.
So, with a nat 20, you that makes that a 48. You
Mate, start playing.
fly off this ramp.
Just start playing taps.
1 second. 1 second. You fly off this ramp. Do you want to do any tricks or anything like that in the air before you land on the other one?
I would think kind of like in the air, they probably do the symbol of Kira, and then
Unbelievable.
land as they're going through the air. So it's like mid-air, I'm gonna give a sign because I can't do paint here.
Just like
Perfect.
tracing something with a little sparkler with the
I was
jetpack.
thinking it's more like if it was like, say for example, it was a 360 flip. That would be how it's moving and rotating. It just would happen to be in the shape of Kira. The symbol.
Unreal.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah, you land no problem, and it sounds like Xavier has probably a speaker on their
Yeah.
armor playing taps.
Rip.
Yeah.
Which they- Which thankfully was not needed yet, at
That's
least.
so good.
I
Let's
I
go with Nira next.
I think I'm talking to Conrad. We should actually enlist Xavier help crossing this and just pick a safer course of action.
Yes, that seemed like a fluke. A display of skill, yes, but I don't know that we could sort of repeat it.
That was the best thing in the world. Come on,
It
everybody!
did look really cool. It looked really cool. And my bike does have flames on the side, so like that helps.
Zool chimes in.
Oh my God! You could be flaming on your bike over this ramp.
Zool?
The flames on the side scientifically do not help.
Yes, they
right.
do.
Other than
Scientifically,
they
flames on everything makes things faster.
We
It's
did
a
talk
fact.
about the
They-
we talked about the aesthetics.
they
though.
look
They
cool.
do look cool. And what Billy just did
Yes.
looked cool. So you can see there's a kind of transitive property here. Like cause and effect.
I don't think that's smart.
Your vehicle lacks the proper thrust to make that distance. This is something that I could correct for you. Would you like a jetpack
I don't
or a plane? Anything that doesn't require being on the ground.
What if the bike just did more like,
Hover.
you know, what if it was stronger? Like could magic help? Magic would help here, right?
I would suggest a hover bike, but you know.
No, I like this bike.
You know what? I'll take care of it. Just full speed ahead.
So Xavier, would you
Hold on
would you
tight.
help me? In the meantime.
Okay. Hold on tight. Don't lose your balance. You know what? I'll just put training wheels on just in case.
Only if it fails. Let me try. I want to do this on it.
Okay. So the fabricator comes on your armor, and it just little beams of light go to the side of your bike, and on the back wheel, kind of where there would be potentially like pegs that you could add on to the side of the wheels. They're just like jet engines, little things that shoot flames out.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be
roll-
demeaning or sort of like
That was
pandering, but that's sick.
That is actually really.
Zul's plan was to put training wheels down there just in case you started to fall over one direction or the other.
Excellent.
Because you're gonna need a nimbleness roll to not lose control of this bike.
It's gonna be another natural 20. I don't know what to tell you.
Close enough.
Probably not
Would you
close
like
enough.
to use a d6?
I imagine while this is all going, Billy is doing the Mabel gif of just going round and round circles, going whoop whoop.
Is it alright if I juice a d6, gang?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Exactly what.
Perfect.
Exactly what we needed.
Yep. That is exactly what you needed to do this without any kind of complication. So yeah, it just goes, and you start hauling. You probably struggle a little bit to get used to it at first. So it's probably, your front wheel's probably a little bit wobbly.
Oh yeah, I'm
handlebars going
absolutely
left and right a little bit. Yeah. But after a couple seconds, you get the hang of it.
Doing wheelies.
And yeah, you go flying over the chasm, and you make a perfect, both wheels touching at the same time, landing
Beautiful.
onto the other ramp.
That was a perfect flying
Would-
wheelie.
Just, was it? I kind of just saw white for a moment.
You were awesome!
It looked cool.
Ooh.
It did.
Oh, good.
Really
Good. I'm
did.
just. Oh, excellent. I'm good luck, Nira. I'm going to vomit. And I just sort of like stumble away from the bike and walk off to the side.
Please don't vomit in the helmet.
I just get the helmet off in time. Actually,
Like
I don't.
Billy
But
like grabs like the helmet, like his
Yeah.
tear it off.
And as you're gonna,
Close
to, expel your lunch, you just hear faintly, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
Nira, you've enlisted Xavier's help.
Yeah,
How are you
I
gonna do
mean,
this?
could you carry me across, because I weigh probably something about 40 pounds with my equipment and the hoverboard. That's what my math says. 40 pounds should be low enough for Xavier to carry with the jetpack's help.
Yeah.
Do I need a rifle?
No, you just need a I'm gonna call this a mechanical engineering roll to properly
Oh.
pilot this jetpack
Oh,
with
thank goodness.
over the recommended weight, and obviously not very aerodynamic with all that.
Okay, that is thankfully not terrible. Mechanical engineering and not tech engineering.
Yes. Mechanical.
Oh.
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 Oof. Oof. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, it's bad.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yikes.
as you go to pick up Nira with your jetpack and fly over this chasm, I think that's a great place to take a quick break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll find out what happens to Nira and Xavier on that Nat 1. Take a break to hydrate, stretch your legs, grab a
roll
snack,
up new characters.
and maybe roll up new characters. We'll see. And we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Be right back.
Bless.
I
Hey, we're back from break. Hope everybody had a good break. Got snacks, drinks, whatever you need. Blanket, tissues for what's about to happen. I mean, everything's fine. So, Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Good, Edmund. That's good. Nat 1 on the jetpack roll to carry Nira across the deep chasm. Here's what happens. Basically, you don't compensate for the added weight. So it's a bit like grabbing onto a stationary object while traveling with the jetpack. So you kind of it's a bit like if you're riding a bicycle and you pull the brakes on only the front wheel.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, you kind of crash into the ground and you're skidding towards the chasm. Nira,
I'm gonna.
you've got a chance here. Well, Nira's got a chance to help you. Would you like to roll nimbleness to see if you can grab Xavier before he starts skidding towards the chasm?
Muted.
You're muted.
Damn again. I try grabbing Xavier and anchoring myself with the other hand to ground, rolling nimbleness. 36.
Fantastic. You reach out in enough time. You're able to grab Xavier's hand before he goes flying too far. And basically everything stops for the two of you. You cease all forward momentum. Now you can take another approach at this. Or try again.
I mean, I think these jetpacks things are clearly for one person. I was wrong to ask you to carry me because the weight changes too much, I think. Do you agree?
I didn't do the calculations that I should have. I think I'm going to do some calculations and then try again.
I mean, I'm not sure if we should even try because, look, we are trying to be reasonable here and take a look at those two. They just slap the flaming engines on everything and they just zoom.
Okay. Well,
Nira?
if you're fine with that, I'm just gonna take off.
Nira?
Yes?
basically spread
Are you
wings
okay?
And goes.
Yeah. We just have a rough landing.
Okay.
Okay, maybe next time add flames to it.
Exactly what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we tried.
Okay,
tried
so-
being sensible.
So,
and, the fish
dear
shot
Helmet,
not like that.
I think actually we should follow the route of our friends here. Could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there
could you
seems to be
attach me
some force
an
at work
engine?
that's not like us being sensible.
Attach me an engine or two. I mean, I think
Okay.
two will be safer. Big engines, please. Like those.
Okay. So, Xavier, yes, you get across just fine since you're just flying on your own. Nira, the M2 does respond to you and says, I would be happy to attach jet engines to your hoverboard. Would you prefer something that is intended to fly?
I mean, isn't overboard intended to hover?
Hover, yes. Fly, no.
I like
In theory, you should be able to make it across, though.
I like simple designs. So what do you propose instead? But I'm not putting down your proposal until I see it. So could you, I don't know, show me with light thingies what do you have in mind?
So your heads-up display comes, basically pulls up like a
Blueprint.
not a blueprint, but like a grid of images. So there's like 3 images per row, and then it just sort of scrolls down tons and tons and tons of rows of these things. And there's like helicopters, jetpacks, airplanes, basically anything conceivable that could fly. are all the options.
Is there something of sort of hover scooter? A jet bike? I mean, I don't want to be big vehicle.
Yeah. M2 pulls up a thing, and it's basically a one-person, sort of an airplane, but it's like a hover plane. So it's designed to fly, but it doesn't. It can also hover in place, and it's basically just big enough for you and your gear. It's like a little capsule, if you will, with wings.
No, that looks too large. I mean, something without wings, something that has only engines. I mean,
Jetpacks are the only thing that come up for the most part.
I'm not sure. I mean, they all look nice, but I would feel isolated inside. I mean, from my friends. Just attach the engine, please, to the board.
You know that
As you wish.
that like your picture on the internet where it's the little like the comic and it's got a dog and it says fetch and you try to take the stick and it says no take, only fetch. This is no wings, only fly.
Yeah,
No wings.
it sort of feels like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
If M2 had the capacity to be snippy or sarcastic.
Yeah, I open myself a lot. Yes, no wings on this side.
But M2 does not. So it just goes as you wish and fabricates a couple of rocket engines onto your hoverboard. Go ahead and do mechanical engineering to drive this thing and jump over the chasm.
31.
31. That's gonna be enough. So yeah.
I mean,
the rocket engines
why
engage.
we even try it with Sensible here?
Xavier's just up here like
I'm
there seems to be some kind of force that is against us being sensible.
That I exactly told everybody this morning this thing. Compared to others, we think big enough. When we are trying grown-up thinking, we are failing like a lot.
Do you think
Yes.
the universe works on the rule of cool?
I'm starting to
Possibly.
think so.
All evidence seems to point to that, yes.
So-
I mean, maybe we should just put flames on the sides of all of our stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, my wings already.
Engines
have
should be
flames,
white with the moving parts purple in the shade that Conrad has. I mean, we have to be color
We sort of have some,
or
yeah.
coordinated.
Yeah, M5 was just good enough to add flames. So I think just like M5's doing things right. So they know
Go on.
well enough when to add.
Everything is white with purple ornaments and my armor with
No,
purple
it's-
and black stripes.
It's good. We look like a proper sort of squad. Do we have a team name?
Oh.
How has this just come up? We've already saved the world like once, basically.
Do you want your helmet back, or are you?
Oh,
wanna
yes,
keep puking?
Thank you. No, sorry. I think I'm done.
That's a good question, Conrad.
That's a very good
Great
question.
question.
I
have
think we should be after we get near a cross and we're
Oh
moving
yeah.
towards Berlin,
Wait
then
for me.
we'll do.
Yeah.
we're yelling across the cat.
No,
I would
we are
think we're
using.
jabbing.
No.
We're doing the whole.
We're using
doing
helmet
communicators.
speak.
Did you not make it? Oh, that was the roll to do that, not
Yeah.
to actually cross the chasm. I see. I'm so sorry. Do we have a team
Oh, I
name?
thought that was to cross the
That
chasm
was
as
the
well.
first- Sorry, my bad. So we are yeah. Let's
Oh,
take
okay,
that
there we
back.
go.
We are everybody on one side. Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Except for Xavier.
I was
Xavier's
confused for a
there.
minute.
Yeah, my bad.
I did like the idea of like Near is still on the far side. Like, wait, do we have a team name? Right, okay.
Yes, that's a kind of question that stops everything he tracks. So
Boy,
it would
howdy.
be possible.
No, I did have the idea before, but I thought I'd wait for you to come across.
Yeah,
Maybe it's something we should brainstorm while we're on the road. feels like-
Okay, well, I got go-go.
Go.
Well, like it's a first part. Like we
Like
say
go-go?
go-go blank. Like I went go-go light earlier. So
Go Gadget team name.
Right.
Yeah. You're on the right mindset, M5. Like maybe not gadget in particular, but something along the lines. But thank you for trying, M5.
Yeah, very good idea. Good effort.
And I'm guessing as we keep moving towards New Berlin, we keep arguing.
Yeah, Zul chimes in and goes, I'm not programmed to tell the difference between a good team name and a bad team name, but I could be way off base, but that seems like it doesn't flow very well. Like, I don't know, there's some a pantomime, pantometer, something like that. It does.
Sure.
I don't know what the terms
The
are.
rhythm seems a little off.
Yeah,
You're doing well.
Well,
Okay, Haggard, there's no bad ideas though. We're brainstorming. Let's
Yeah.
warm and cool feedback, Zul.
well, I think like what's best if like we all have a part. Like, for example, like I go
gonna be a long
go. Conrad said something else, then Nira and Xavier. And then when we all say it together, it's our team.
Right back.
This feels like it's going to be a very long name.
Yeah, you're right. We probably gotta come with something simpler. That maybe might be when we combine our powers together, we do that. But we have a nickname that's much shorter.
So, well, your current sort of working base is go something.
Yeah.
Are we married to go?
What about the Warriors of Light and Darkness?
I don't think that's a good idea, since we might have to destroy one. Do you really want to have that part of the name as in, like, you're the light destroyer, you're the dark destroyer?
No, just the light. The
Sorry, I
Warriors
had
of
to
Light and Darkness.
wrangle my cat.
Okay.
So we don't pick a side, because I'm certainly not picking a side.
I think we clearly have picked a side at this point, and that we
have
a god from prison. So I think whoever was in charge of the prison, we're not on good terms with. We're not cool with them.
Xavier, I don't know how sort of appealing of a name the go centrist squad is going to be. That maybe doesn't sort of send the right message. I don't know if we can both sides the apocalypse is all.
Hey, Sentinels,
I certainly will try.
Sentai, maybe Sentai.
Well, yeah, go. Say, how much of this name is sort of Billy centric?
I'm just, hey, you're not bringing up any other ideas.
No,
Conrad.
sorry. No, you're right. Sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's easy to be a critic.
There's always the Kira Brady's.
Kira Brady.
No.
The Brady Bunch.
No, I don't think it's a good idea to have someone we're gonna have to fight as part of the name. Because do we
Bakers
really
doesn't.
want to be dealing with Tom Brady?
I mean, technically neither of them is the name of who you're gonna fight, but
Ah! I knew it! Yeah!
Well, no, Tom Brady and Keira Knightley. Yeah. Both of those I do not think will feature heavily. Baker's Dozen's
Yeah.
also not bad.
Dang, and here I thought I'd learned something new.
happy fish friends.
There's something there.
I think...
We can.
Hey,
we can
I've got it.
workshop
I've got it.
What about the Fish Warriors?
Zool in the game.
No,
I think that.
Billy
I think
just,
Zool
like,
would
has,
probably
like, Max-
suggest that.
Like, just goes max and fires off away.
No team, only Zoom. Exactly.
What about the Fish Warriors?
I mean,
The fish.
Nira just says, I'm not good with names because names are when you are admitting you've done something, and I mean, names are the talking part. That they are already sort of forbidden by the implication that we are not speaking at all about it.
Forgive me if I'm prying, Nira, but did you Nira was your name from birth?
Yes, I
Uh,
guess.
You guess? Okay.
I mean, do you remember your birth?
Me? No, not now, not currently.
Billy circling back around. Well,
So I
my
wouldn't
dad's
know.
told me about it, but I don't think we want to talk about that.
I mean, you asked it if it is my name since birth, so as long as we remember, yes, since birth, I don't know.
Oh, right, of course. No, just we're talking about names and everything else.
Ooh,
It's
we
enough.
brought
I mean,
some.
I
We
mean,
brought
but
some
that's.
light. Oh, sorry.
I mean, that's as far as baking goes. Names are not necessary. But I mean, we don't. I think we're done with baking stuffs. A bit,
Maybe.
isn't it?
Well, from what I understood from the books I've read, granted most of them were sort of fiction, swashbuckling adventures and stuff. Bakers, I mean. All the best bakers have calling cards that they leave behind at the scene of their pastries.
Oh,
I wouldn't agree with you.
well,
All the best bakers have nobody know it's them, and nobody can write the book about it.
What's the
That
fun
is
in
so
that?
true.
The books are about the mediocre ones.
oh, you're right.
Alex
you're
made a
right.
great-
You're right.
Great comment. Unaccompanied children.
Yeah.
That is your name.
Oh yeah, that's perfect
very
thing.
ominous.
Not one we would come up with, but a perfect one.
Oh,
No.
oh.
Yeah.
What about keychains?
Keychains?
Yeah. We've been unlocking things, and we're all connected to each
We've
other.
unlocked one thing so far.
Yeah,
Key-
Well, no,
It was a very important
We've
thing.
unlocked a lot of things, I suppose. Nira, sort of putting her skills to the test.
Yeah. We liberated them by unchaining them from their shackles.
Oh, the liberators.
the liberators.
Yes.
Wait. So hang on. Are we gonna put a pun in it because deliberators is actually very good.
I like that.
Because
And it
Yes.
said, oh, just so that I get this out there, otherwise my dad would kick me later on. What about Ironhead? With an extra E on the end so they know we're serious.
Ironhead.
I'm gonna be very meta right now, but Zool does chime in and goes, well, I mean, you freed Kara and you're bringing like light back to the planet and everything. What about the
I
Lightbringers?
like it.
That seems lame. Something about that. That won't catch on.
We are. I mean, Xavier probably still doesn't accept this part entirely.
Ooh, what about the tortures?
No,
Everybody's a
you
critic.
burnt a Bible.
Well, it's not up, Brad.
No,
It seems perfect. I like the liberators.
M5 chimes in at this point and goes, pardon me, Sentinel Billy, I hate to be a nudge, but I do believe that the sunlight is
Oh right.
running out for the day.
Oh, did we? Okay, we're just keeping moving forward. Did we ever pick a spot that's
No,
defensible?
No, Xavier was going to try and do
No,
that, but then we stopped.
We engage with more important actions.
Yeah, we
Oh,
started
you're
arguing
right.
about a team name instead of. Oh boy, this
Uh-huh.
planet's screwed.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Does anyone see a cave
Oh, thank
nearby?
Okay, well, Xavier.
I rolled a 13 plus 7 for sight, so 20.
Okay.
So, modified 20. You don't see much in the way of caves. You got a little too high up, so you're not able to see much.
Too high.
Yeah. You can see some spots up ahead that might have something, but nothing specific.
Can Billy make a naturalist roll to see what about in the environment we could create or make a defensible position?
Absolutely. The 29, you're able to tell that if you followed this chasm, eventually you'd probably come across something that would be accessible, wouldn't be as deep of a chasm. So that's one option. There's a lot of rolling hills. So if you were to investigate or explore... Oh, hey! Thank you for the raid! Thank you, George May, with that 8-person raid. Much appreciated. I hope you had a good stream. So, yeah, the hills up ahead, if you explore those, they might have, if not a cave, at least some sort of just natural shelter up against some rocks or something like that.
Okay.
Those are your best bets.
Well, maybe the hills. They might have some eyes.
Woof.
No.
You sort of- you made a-
please
I
tell
don't
me they
actually-
don't have eyes.
I don't understand the
Really
reference, but-
disturbing.
Yeah, you did
it'll
that
be
face.
a place where we can see around us as we're having a defensible position, so we can have sight lines as well
I
as
see.
defend ourselves.
That sounds incredibly disturbing, though. The hills having eyes.
Well, we
Well, how else are you going to simply describe that it is a point to look from, that you have multiple viewpoints other than the word eyes?
the liberators. I'm just putting it out there.
Ooh,
seems
light
apt.
liberators.
Well, okay. Go. Let's sleep.
that would be actually factually accurate. Light liberators.
Thus far, yes.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah, and we can just call ourselves LL for short.
Yes, or the light wasters pointing at the sun. Perhaps that's good too. I understand some of this falls to me, but right now we should probably go.
Well, that's why we're heading to the
Zol
hills.
chimes in at that point and goes, ooh, light wasters, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
pretty good, right?
spot on, Conrad there. Good job.
It's very good. Yes, I was rather happy. Sorry, we should go. We should go. Let's put the tent to good use. Let's find a good spot in the
let's-
hills.
Yeah.
Yes. Onward.
Okay. Billy, go ahead and make another naturalist roll to see if you can narrow in on where that is. Fantastic. You find an appropriate spot. Sort of, they're not exactly cliffs, but it's sort of where a couple of hills come together. So on 3 sides, you're surrounded by a steep hill. And then the only flat area is sort of where you came from. So as far as naturally defensible and hidden, it's a very good spot.
Okay, let's break out the camp. Let's get the tent to go in. We get the stand to go in.
Yeah.
Move it, groove it. We better get this tent to go
We
in.
do the song every time. I'm glad at the very least that we're out in the wilderness now, so the song isn't so. Oh God! So the song isn't so deadly as to be drawing unwanted attention.
Oh, come on. If we have anything deadly come our way, we'll punch it. We'll punch it real good with the light.
I'd
Or
rather not.
darkness. Ooh! Yin, yin,
Okay,
yin,
if that's what you call
punchers.
punching, then yes.
Go yin and yang punches.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
putting
the-
go is what made you realize that one wasn't.
Yeah, see, that's the trick here. You say go, and you see if it works or not. You see how that brilliantly works?
I mean, he's sort of right. Go light liberators sounds pretty okay.
Yeah.
There are 2-letter G, 2-letter L's.
Yeah.
GGLL.
I see.
Oh, yeah, like there's a letter for everyone. 2 L's, 2 G's, 2 light, 2 darkness.
Do you know what letter darkness starts with, Billy?
Okay. I know this is a trick question, though.
It's not. No, it's not. It's actually
D. Is it D?
yes.
Yay! I got it right!
Zul, I'm just gonna put you into low power mode.
It's appreciated.
Okay, what do I need to roll to set
So-
up the tent?
Also naturalist. 22. You're a little excited. It's not your best work, but the tent is set up just fine. It's structurally sound. It's just maybe,
It's first time this
one
tent
side of the-
is set up in the open spot, in the open under the
true.
open sky.
Yes, I
Yeah.
suppose this is how most people would have done it in the before times.
Actually, we have been camping in the building, so it's our first night under the sky.
Yeah.
Wait, we have fabricators. We can just fabricate our own tent.
Okay, are you just saying I'm useless?
I'm a little
No.
worried about sort of using these fabricators too liberally. I know it is very powerful stuff, but as far as we know, even magic follows the rules of this world. The sort of everything's coming from somewhere.
I understand
safer.
that, but Savior just said that I didn't matter. This tent didn't matter.
No,
Yes,
I
also
didn't-
for
I didn't
for
say
sentimental reasons.
I did not say that. I
Yes,
said
you
could-
did. You said we could fabricate instead of having a tent. Like, I don't matter.
You matter, Billy.
Of course
M5
you
chimes in at that point and gives you like an exact recording of what Xavier said and goes, I believe the intention was that you could have your individual tents rather than all being stuck in one.
Well,
Why
that's
waste-
dark. It's sweet.
Yeah, it's safer because
Aren't you just wasting resources?
it's safer to
That
sleep
would seem
together.
to be an irresponsible use of power, yes.
Besides, like, if we have our own tents, then if someone gets hurt, we can't tell. It's just like,
That's what I meant.
Ooh, I got you. I'm gonna take you away without anyone noticing.
It was just an idea, Billy. It was not.
It's
Gwen,
Uh-huh.
evens or odds?
bro.
Uh, evens.
Okay. As you're talking, you actually hear what sounds like a wolf or a coyote howling in the distance.
Oh my god, we get the donkeys!
Oh
Just-
no, you
just-
don't mean the
just
dog.
Xavier? Yes.
Oh,
All of us.
oh, that's cute.
All of you are able to hear it.
Ah,
It's not close.
what was that?
It sounds far away.
That's a coyote or a wolf.
What? A what?
It's a donkey!
Yeah.
What's a doggy?
Okay, you know how kind of like we would have these little shadow puppety things? Like some would be a cat going meow, 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 and some would be a dog go woof, woof, woof.
What, like the cave mutts that we had back home?
Yeah,
With the
But-
little, the shells and the claws and such.
yeah, but imagine not so nice.
Right, well, they're charming creatures.
Well, sometimes.
Well, these ones can be. They're not always. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
walk
most.
a little bits away and set up a trap just in case. I'll be right back, just in case.
Yeah, that's probably a very good idea, Billy.
Okay, good luck.
These are not the nice kind of canines. Most of the time. Sometimes they can be, but most of the time they're not.
There is no such thing as nice canines. Even cave mats don't like me.
Well. Oh,
Well, Mira, I believe that's more because of your species and not because of their nature.
it's
So
I can
they're
understand.
spacist.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, they're spacist. Yes.
Yes.
So they're not
Maybe-
nice.
There's perhaps an argument to be made that they are the native inhabitants of this planet, and we, as we are coming to learn, are colonized here. But that doesn't excuse the fact that sort of most people's pets wanted to eat you back home. That's, that's bad. And I don't think any sort of space history changes that fact. We're safe though. We've got Billy, master tracker.
And yeah, I trust Billy. A lot more than I
Implicitly.
trust myself with this matter.
anybody is welcome to roll this. But roll gut feeling.
That was a naturalist roll for setting traps.
Sure.
Nice.
What kind of traps do you want to set?
I would think these are these very simple, like there's a piece of meat in there, along with kind of like the very, once it's grabbed, it roughly will tie up the thing. So the dog or creature eats the meat, and then they're kind of trapped with like food in them. So they're not going to attack or anything. They're just happily eating, so that way we can come along later and free them when they're sleeping and move them away.
Okay. So it's sort of like a humane catch and release snare trap type thing.
Cruelty
Okay,
free.
yeah, you successfully do that. So Xavier gut feeling 19, Conrad 6, Nira with a 26, guts are saying fish time. And then Billy, did you want to do
let's do it
gut
so
feeling as well?
everyone is.
Okay. So Nira, you're pretty much the only one that has this sort of realization. This is the first time that you've really seen or heard much in the way of fauna on the surface. So the fact that you're hearing animals on the surface is unusual.
Yeah,
Not bad unusual, just unusual.
I'm weirded out a bit, so, but I don't exactly know what to deduce from this.
Okay.
I think it's Conrad not thinking anything of it. I believe it's my turn to prepare dinner. And I'm sort of most of the way there. I might just sort of heat this thing up and plate it for everybody.
Yeah.
Save us all a night of cooking.
Do you already got the pit ready?
The what? Oh, like the fire bit?
Yeah. Like
Well,
usually we got some rocks. I got some flit on me. Does anyone have fuel?
You're doing a trap, Billy. Let me
I
handle
came back
this.
from doing the trip.
I'm
so that's why-
resourceful. You all sort of feed me and save my life daily. You all patched up my wound to the best of your ability, which was decent.
Well, I care
Sure.
about you. I want you to do
No,
well.
Of course, and I have most of a dinner ready here. Let me do the rest of it.
Okay, like I was just asking, because
No,
you know
of
I
course,
like
of course.
helping you.
It's very sweet, and I like helping. I can make a fire. I'm the
Yeah,
most.
yeah.
We're the most advanced. We came from space. Our ancestors
didn't
built
come from
spaceships. I
space. We came
I
from
can burn
underground.
wood.
I'm still loving the fact that all four of you have replicators built into your suits. And you're like, do you have any flint? Let's start a
We're
fire.
camping.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They
I love
made
it.
the argument earlier that that's a waste of replicators.
But not even like, can I replicate a lighter or, shoot a tiny laser to start
I'm
a
gonna
fire?
try
Just like,
and-
no, let's rub
I'm
two
gonna try and
sticks
start a
together. I love it. Okay.
I want to use the replicators, and everybody's like, no. I'm
So
not
Conrad,
using the
how do you want to start this fire?
I will collect. I'll do my best to remember what Billy has taught me, and the way that they have done it in the past. And I'll collect some sticks, and then try and hit some rocks together. And if that doesn't work, I'll point the back of my bike at the fire and turn it on.
Okay.
That's
make
our
a naturalist roll to try to you get some sparks. You even get a little bit of a flame started, but it sort of fizzles out. You can.
Yeah.
Okay. As I say, you could try again, but okay,
That's fine.
that works.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Billy a bit away will shout, you need help!
You just hear the motorcycle roar to life for a moment and then go quiet again.
Vroom.
I'm fine. It's oh goodness. Yes, it's good. It's good. Everything's fine.
Yeah, you get a roaring fire going with that.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I prepare the fish, a meal for everybody. And I assume that at some point during this, I discover there's a thing in its guts.
I'm guessing one of us bites into the
Yeah.
fish and find that out.
Callan was hoping that Conrad would find it as he was cutting it up, because I'm not going to give somebody a whole fish. But maybe there's like a chance.
I was gonna
of that.
say, yeah, absolutely. If you're prepping the fish and serving it, you'll find the potion and recognize it.
Okay, Nira.
Do we still hear the animals? Are they closing? Are they changing in the volume?
Yeah, you still hear them every once in a while. You'll hear like one howl, like maybe off to the east, and then one way off in the west will howl back. You can tell they're moving around, but they don't really seem to be getting
I pick my axe.
much closer.
I take my axe in my hand, and in the primal gesture of dominance, of territorial dominance, I'm yelling, "I'm not afraid of you!" Entire 2 feet of unbridled power.
Should we sort of?
It's fine. It's fine. It's like how the bats would get me sometimes, and I would do the same thing.
The cave mutts, they mark their territory. Is that something we're supposed to do? Is that a thing?
Well,
I
I
think
don't
we should.
know.
I think we can make a fire around the camp.
Okay, does anyone know if we're supposed to mark our territory?
I don't know.
I mean,
I think we can make a fire to keep them away.
Well, that seems
okay.
hazardous.
Okay, Xavier, I take it you don't know a lot about the doggies.
I mean, they are howling at us. I'm yelling at them. It seems like the
Okay, so
customary thing to do around
It's
this
okay,
place.
Sure.
so we all howl. Okay.
No.
No. I think the fire in the center of the camp will keep them away.
But
Just-
if we're not marking our territory with howls, how are we going to mark it?
Maybe if anyone does feel the need to sort of relieve themselves naturally, maybe let's just sort of divvy it out some, just in case.
What?
I mean,
Okay, Nira, sorry. I'm going to this next part. I'm sorry. I'm going to put a blanket statement that it might be a sort of ignorant or bigoted thing for me to say, because I have to be entirely honest. I've not met that many Katarans. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
What
Can
is
you
a thing?
smell pee better than we can? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Can't you?
I mean, kind of. It's not that bad.
Is it?
If someone has peed on the street and I walk past, I don't think, oh, that's not my street. I think, gross. That's piss. That's bad.
Well, that kind of works. You don't want to go where that's been.
I mean, we are sort of better than them. I feel.
Right, I understand that you're more...
No. That sounds wrong. That came out wrong. I mean,
Let's just stick with the howling. if we need
actually, I don't care, because let them come. I'm not afraid. I will defend my territory without marking it. That's how I will prove it mine.
I am pretty sure that I have read that
How bold.
that if you have a fire in the middle of your camp, they won't come.
I have traps,
just-
so if they do come, they'll get to the traps. But just in
Just
case,
going to give
we'll
you-
all howl if we need to mark anything.
Yeah, and we can make
A
torches,
quick reminder.
and we can make torches to wave at them in case they do come.
You have 4 AI with encyclopedic knowledge about a lot of subjects.
Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
We don't need to ask them anything.
Really
just-
quick.
Just throwing it out there.
As I find the potion in the fish, is there? I don't know how this would be decided, but is there a world where Conrad can pocket it, like realize what it is and pocket it before anyone notices, because he's the only one preparing the fish?
That sounds like a nimble.
Oh yeah.
Now Xavier would
Unless somebody's like,
absolutely ask the AI if he doesn't know, but I think Xavier pretty much knows
I've shown you how to depocket things quietly. You can also pocket them this way.
about
yeah,
taking the dog
you
from
can.
him.
Use baking lessons.
Yeah. I was about to say you can bake a little, cornbread or I don't know,
You can make it
the
real
analogies-
well, that-
sourdough.
The analogy gets pretty
I don't know
strange
what type of bread.
when you detail it. Yeah.
It's a simple pumpernickel, which you would make a nimblest roll so that no one would notice if you're worried about it.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm asking the game master.
You're you're preparing the food. Billy's off making traps. Nira and Xavier are discussing the finer points of dominating wolf packs. I think you're fine to pocket it without anyone noticing.
Yeah, I just look at it, recognize what it is and what the last one did, and think back to the last time I had like a decent supply of dark points. I was able to shoot lightning out of my hands and win that fight, and I just sort of put it in my pocket.
As you do that, you also kind of feel that energy that you still have stored. Just sort of not like you're in danger or anything like that. Just kind of have that realization of like, oh yeah, I have this extra power that I haven't done anything with. It just sort of reminds you that it's there.
Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't compel you to do anything or anything like that. It just sort of makes itself known.
Dinner's ready, everyone.
Thank you, and thank you, Kara. Kira.
Well,
It's a fish, so
yes,
it's not
pronunciation,
Sankara.
yes, but yeah, I think we already worked out that this is was it like an ascended disciple of
Thank you,
Kara's?
fish person.
There we go.
Yes.
That's better. Thank you. I hope I didn't sort of screw it up.
I think you might hear some very faint laughing on the wind. Some friendly laughing on the wind. Almost like did I really just hear that, or was I hearing things, or was that?
Fish are never going to look the same to me after this. Is that something that you all have sort of come to reckon with? It's just like it used to just be a normal sort of part of the way the world used to be, but now they're just weird. Fish are
Yeah.
just strange now.
Well, I like fish. A
Yeah.
lot.
I mean, they're good. It's not a bad weird, but I pull out a knife. It's very weird. Ow. It's weird. Is all.
Well, maybe that's because you're not including it. And Billy pulls out a can of beans. Well, let's cook up some beans. Maybe if we have pair the fish with some beans, maybe that'll make it less weird.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I just made it hot. I tried. I hope you like it. I don't know if I was supposed to put spices or anything on it, or if it came pre-cooked, so I don't know.
Does
gonna
anyone want their beans cooked up? But I'm good with just opening the can and eating the beans.
Of course you are.
I'm just taking the fish. I mean, you need
The fish is delicious, by the way.
oh, amazing.
If
You
no
I've
one
done myself.
else, if no
I
one else
guess-
is interested in the beans, Billy's just opening it up and eating a little bit of beans, a little bit of fish.
They're yours.
You are bigger. You need additional stuff to eat. I'll be good with just the fish.
Yeah, you need all that somersault energy, Billy.
Xavier has his helmet fabricate some French fries as well, and some coleslaw and some and a plate.
It's not the same.
You.
Yeah, printing coleslaw is maybe the most foul thing you've ever. That's even if I see it made in front of me, I'm not entirely trusting of coleslaw. But to download a coleslaw JPEG from the cloud is just
Helmet.
I love all your reactions. I love coleslaw.
I do too, but
Helmet.
we've already established that I'm the DM, so I'm evil, so that makes sense. M2
And I
chimes in and goes,
am Xavier
yes, Sentinel
T.
Nira.
Makes sense.
What made actually produce it from?
Is it people?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Where does where did the food come from actually? I mean, what? You don't produce it out of thin air. You actually have to have something you turn into something. I mean, that's how you cook. So what?
Are you referring to fabricated food?
Yeah, where did the ingredients for that food came from?
Energy.
The process of fabrication was invented large number of years ago through the process of converting energy into matter. So your food comes from the energy stored in the power banks of your armor.
Oh. Hey, gang, we should probably actually conserve that because we're not in a city anymore. We can't recharge these things.
Yeah, but M5 said it's charged up for an entire year.
Sure, but I don't. Did M5 specify that year would be incredibly coleslaw heavy? Because that might change the math a little bit.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Since M5 is still in active mode, he'll chime in and go, at your current rate of fabrication, energy reserves should last minimum 6 months. That's assuming you continue to create lavish vehicles.
I see.
Well, that's why we got the
Every
extra
day.
battery and why we charged it up M5, so you wouldn't have to worry.
I say we try and keep sort of a measured touch for as long as we can. Xavier, continue to eat like a king, as you please. A
that
weird,
reminds me.
strange, nasty king. As you're dipping French fries in a coleslaw, you weirdo.
No, you don't. You don't dip the French fries in coleslaw. No.
You're supposed to be half light and half dark, Xavier. What is this?
This is completely evil, okay? Like, coleslaw
man.
is evil.
Now I just really want a fish fry, like hush puppies
Yes.
and corn and coleslaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I'm hungry
That's
now.
what I'm thinking. Like hush puppies, French fries, corn, coleslaw. Oh my god, and fish.
Oh,
Yes.
you're making me hungry. I don't have anywhere around here that I can get that kind of
I
stuff.
have exactly that in the refrigerator. That's why
A
I'm
billion
saying.
pulls out of their
So jealous.
bag a couple of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, I made extra before we left. Do you guys want one?
Before we left home?
No, before we left there, when that big fabricator thingy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I see.
Oh,
Right, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I already ate the ones we got from home.
sure. Yeah, I should hope so. I mean, it looked like they're good on the road. Maybe that's something we can save for tomorrow.
Okay. I got at least 30 in my bag right now.
You could.
M5 was nice enough to give a little baggie for each one.
Okay, I'll take a baggie.
And Billy pulls out one and gives it to you, and probably
Thank you.
pulls out another one for Nira.
Thank you.
M5 was nice. It kept the bags and everything. Keeps the freshness inside, they said.
Seals the flavor in.
Yeah.
I'm again yelling into the air. You see, I'm a meat eater. If you come closer, you will be eaten instead of this peanut butter sandwich.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna mark on the cave Kira's symbol and then pray and go to bed. Does anyone else want to do anything more before bedtime?
We should probably keep watch tonight.
Oh yeah, it's my
Yeah.
turn, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, didn't you-
No.
last
We're taking it into. We're not doing magic stuff. We're taking shifts.
Actually, it won't be your turn for like 2 nights
while.
for the stuff you did in the town.
Yeah.
You sure? I could have sworn it's my
No,
turn
we're
now.
pretty sure.
Okay.
I can take the first one.
Okay.
And then Nira and then Xavier. You can earn your rest, Billy.
Okay.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I'm gonna go make a mark so that way I don't forget about it.
Good stuff. Good show.
Okay. Is there anything else that any of you want to do over the course of the evening?
Xavier wants to make a thing so that if he gets taken away, they will know, like some kind of alarm thing on himself.
Oh.
He can set while he sleeps.
You could have your armor M8 set up like a proximity alarm.
Yeah.
So if
in case
anything
someone-
comes close to you,
in
it'll
case
go
someone
off.
steals Xavier away, he wants everybody to know about it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't even have to roll for that. Your armor basically just has a car alarm in it now. So if anything touches you, it'll start going off.
Perfect. And Xavier just sleeps outside the tent.
Okay. Sleeping under the stars. Very cool. Very cool.
Sleeping bag.
Well, in that case, the evening goes on uneventful. You hear the coyotes or wolves eventually move further and further and further away. Yes, Conrad.
Oh, thank you. I would say during Conrad's shift, sort of spending some time under the stars, the little potion in his hands. He sort of looks back at the mouth of the cave, looks back out over the sort of barren, lifeless place with like the wolves in the distance, and thinks about what the offer Kara made.
Okay.
And he unstoppers the little potion, and pours it out over like the side of a cliff,
Ooh. Okay.
and just chucks it.
Okay. That was unexpected.
I know the mechanic doesn't necessarily work 100% this way, but in his mind, he went from a moment of great power to a moment of great frailty after that he was fed this the last time. And
I see.
yeah, he's worried if the gang knew about it or if it happened, it might mean he wasn't strong enough to save them later. So he chucks it, and then goes inside and wakes Nira up for a shift, unless Billy has something.
I just wanted to double check, like, do you? Because I imagine, like, just like before, like, contrast this, like Billy is praying before going to bed, and might need to make an empathy roll, just giving Kara an update.
You had it right the first time. Kara, what was the last part?
To do an empathy roll to give them an update on everything and telling them what we made progress wise.
No, you don't have to do that. You get the sense that Kara got the message. With her being out of that prison, it's kind of words are hard. She's kind of got like full Wi-Fi signal everywhere on the planet. So, yeah, anybody that wants to talk to Kara can get a signal, so to speak.
Sure.
Okay, well, in that case, other than what we just discussed, the rest of the night goes uneventful. Everybody wakes up the next day, and it's early morning. Yeah, everything seems good to go.
If you don't mind, guys, you packing up the tent while I go check the traps. You okay with that?
Oh, of course. Sure. We'll do our best.
Well, you just pull the thing. Remember, it's got a quick release after we get all our stuff in. Remember?
Yes, I think the quick release part is very easy. The quick pack up, there's not a sort of lever for that. We'll try. I'm sure we can put our minds together. We do that.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay. You're able to pack up the camp without problem. Billy, give me a naturalist roll to see how well you do with the traps. 22? Yeah, you do an okay job. Most of them are empty. But you do find a couple of rabbits that have been sort of caught in this. They didn't actually go for the meat. Looks like they just happened to run across it and got stuck. And you find one raccoon that got caught in it. It definitely was going for the meat.
Okay, release the bunnies, but the raccoon, like, not only when almost before like they release the raccoon, we'll put down another piece of like meat so that they can eat before releasing it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
The raccoon, in as much as a raccoon can sort of gesture gratitude, it does, and once you release it, it sort of scampers off.
Dang. Oh well.
Conrad doesn't want this to happen, but Callan, who lives for drama, so very desperately does. Can there be a dice rolled to determine whether or not, because Conrad didn't know, whether or not the thrown vial ended up anywhere within eyesight of the trap that Billy laid?
Sure.
I have no idea how we would work that out. But the
evens or odds?
Odds, obviously.
So odds it does land by a trap?
Sure.
Okay. It does not. It is sufficiently hidden away in the brush and whatnot. I should probably show everybody that's watching. This is pretty much what the area looks like. Is this right here. That's the kind of terrain they're in. So yeah, just kind of lands in some scrub oaks or sagebrush or something like that, and nobody sees it.
Just the dramatic irony of like the camera sort of seeing Billy in the background and this little thing,
Yeah,
just sort of glinting in the sun. Oof.
I love just that it's
Yeah.
the whole reason why Billy doesn't notice is that they were focused so much on the raccoon, they didn't walk the extra couple of steps where they would notice.
Yeah.
Like right
Yep.
in frame, and Billy doesn't notice.
that's perfect. Yeah, so Billy, by the time you get back, everything's packed up and you're all set to go.
Okay.
We did our
Onward and
darndest.
upward.
Certainly. Xavier, you're taking to the skies again, I assume?
You would assume correct?
Yes, unfortunately. All right, everyone. I
mean-
think
I wonder what's actually our plan for meeting the people of New Berlin.
right. That's the other part. Last time we got to a new city, it was perilous.
Can't
I would
we just
think
have
the
our
plan is
helmets scan for life?
I mean, if you are up there, you will be seen from quite a distance too. You see quite a distance, but you will
Oh,
be
I thought you
seen
were
from.
talking about finding them. I didn't know. No.
Well,
no,
being found as well.
well.
I don't foresee any problems being found. I foresee problems finding them.
Xavier, with all due respect, you are very good at solving problems.
and
I would not say
creating.
I would not say that foreseeing problems is necessarily your strong suit. I think you like finding them. That's sort of the impression I get.
I like finding the idea of finding the people.
Of course. We have sorry, I've it's been a scattered couple of days. We got directions from Kara. We have this little photo of that entrance in the sewers to the rebels base. I believe that we got some loose directions that would aid us in finding this location. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, though we're going forward until we start to see another water point because the sewer is going to lead to a water source. So,
Certainly.
so when we get near where M5 said the location was, like when we get near there, we'll find kind of like some waterways, and from that we'll find the sewer, and then from that we'll find the resistance.
I mean, the resistance is under the ground, from what I understand. I'm not worried about them seeing Xavier. I meant more about the local Bob, let's say Bill.
I mean, like, it's in the city, right? Surely we will. That's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah, and I think once we find the new resistance, we'll find more ways because we get more believers. Kara will have more power, and can do more things, and then the inevitable clash of Tombre and Kara will be where Kara wins.
I mean, yeah, perhaps we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's as we are wont to do.
I think you are 5 or 6 steps ahead of where I'm going, which is meeting these people.
Yeah,
I meant people are one thing, but shadows are the other. I just worried about being noticed by shadows.
Yeah,
Well-
Nero makes a very valid point.
yeah, that's why we're moving in the day. While we're moving right now, we're keep on moving. Keep on
Okay.
moving.
Okay, we're moving, Billy. We're moving.
We're moving
Let's
and
move.
grooving.
Okay. As you get on the road and get going, Conrad, you feel something, not like a bottle hitting you in the back of the head, but as if someone just came behind you and just like, slapped you upside the back of the head.
Ow.
And you feel sort of a weight, a little bit of a it's a good way to describe it, a weight in your pocket.
I just sort of nonchalantly touch it. Is it a familiar shape?
It is. It's feels like a bottle.
Onwards and upwards, gang. Let's hit the road.
As, as we're moving, does Billy at any chance see any waterways or rivers or something on our path?
You do. As you get closer, the sort of environment gets a little bit more green, a little more lush with vegetation. There's green plants and like that pinkish purple kind of colored plants, which is normal for this planet. So it indicates that there's a lot more life here, and you do see some water sort of trickling down from a hill, and you're able to sort of follow the route of it, and eventually you see the city off in the distance. It's sort of a little bit up on a hill, and you see water coming down from the hill, joining that trickle from the other hill that you just saw, to form sort of a little stream that goes the opposite direction. So let's say if you're facing north, the city stream's coming down. The other hill is sort of to the southwest, and they meet up together and go east.
Okay, so we're either going east or the other way following the water.
The one coming from the north seems the best fit for that picture that you saw.
North it is.
If it's people, they need water to live. So yes, that seems like the best course of action.
Certainly. I mean, they could just print it, Xavier.
Yeah, but they're not connected to the network.
Ah, poor they.
Yeah, we got to connect it to the network next, and then they can.
You already discussed this.
Yeah.
Onward!
All right. So I assume you go up the hill.
the hill, we're going up the hill.
More singing. Pedaling up the
Okay.
hill. My 20 speed bike, I believe, is the number. It's just so many.
Perfect. I just need to check a couple of things. And
No.
okay.
Stop. What are you?
I love it.
What? No.
Oh, nothing. Just rolling dice. It's fun.
Not
you
even
just press
D100s, just D20s.
yeah, you press a button and a number comes up. It's fun to see what
Yeah,
the
we're
numbers
moving
are.
forward to find out what those rolls are.
Yeah, so after a while you see that opening, just like in the picture, and it's part of a very old stone wall. It's got vines sort of growing all up it, but you're able to tell that this is sort of a city on a hill, and from what you can see so far, it looks like it's in much better shape than Echo City was.
Ultralight.
So it's much more likely you'll find intact buildings.
Okay, ultraviolet lights on before we enter in the cave, and I'll put the symbol of Kara on, and we'll go and move forward. Sound like a plan?
Ultraviolet?
Yeah.
Like purple? Like very
No, like
purple?
the sun.
Sorry, to be clear, I met the sun 2 days ago. So some of its sort of finer points maybe are lost on me.
Okay, you know how kind of like we had to have these ultraviolet lights in the garden area? They were they did the same thing this bulb light in the sky did. So I'm guessing that's what's going to help us here. So ultraviolet lights on.
I think light seems like your thing, the two of you. I'll take your word for it.
It's the suit.
Hey Conrad,
Like ultraviolet.
did you put Zol back in active mode, by the way?
Sure. We stopped
Okay.
agonizing over team names for now.
Okay. Just was curious.
I would not have been on
well, I
active
suppose-
while I was doing any of my shady stuff.
Of course not. I think technically it might not even be ultraviolet light. Come to think of it, because it's a reddish sun rather than a yellow one. But
Space.
regardless,
You know what I mean.
you're able to replicate that type of light. Yeah, I know what you mean. I just had the sudden realization. I'm like, it might not actually be. That was more me realizing it than anything else. But yeah, you replicate the sun's light, no problem. You can see pretty clearly, and yeah, it's basically just like a drainage pipe. And it doesn't go that far before you're actually inside the city. You're inside the city wall. You can see buildings and streets. And as soon as you all step out of that tunnel, each one of you feels a heavy hand on your shoulder. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Right before can Billy try to punch it?
Yeah.
Even Xavier in the air? Even
We're in
Xavier
a tunnel.
Can
Oh,
Billy
right in the
punch
tunnel.
this
You would
thing?
have had to.
Can Billy punch?
You'll
Punch it
find
next
out what
week.
it
Right
is
now,
next
can
week.
Billy punch as the
I-
answer's
I-
on?
In
Okay,
keeping with that tradition
You can-
of Raven attempting to end an episode, and someone demanding a dice be rolled before we do that.
You can attempt to punch, and we'll find out what the result is next week.
Excellent.
So remember 24,
Roll 20 will you remember.
Roll 20, remember. Never
Yeah.
lets us forget.
and Xavier, yeah. Unless you want to, like, fly over the entire city and risk being seen by who knows what, the only real entrance is going to be through that tunnel. So I'm assuming you went in the tunnel with everybody.
You mean who does too?
That too.
Yes. The entrance being in the tunnel, I assume that you would come with us. Us not
Yes.
wanting to split.
Being sneaky would be sensible, so that's not something we would do.
Do you want to go with the party, or did you fly overhead? because that will have other responses.
Fly over.
I would be.
I will figure it out between now and next week.
So I would be strongly opposed to Xavier leaving, splitting the team so
I
hard. I would
I-
say.
honestly don't know.
Okay,
I will
so regardless,
figure it out.
between either 3 or 4 of you
Excellent.
feel a heavy hand on your shoulder, and that's where we
Excellent.
end.
And Billy tries to
So
punch him.
Yes, before we go on a raid, we're going to give everybody a chance to talk about their favorite parts, where we can find them next, and anything else they'd like to share. I think we've got our raid cry as, wait, that wasn't Bob. But if you have other ideas, feel free to post them in chat as well. We're going to start with Callan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Yeah, that was great fun, as it always is. We felt like we had a sort of unhinged energy, which is sort of par for the course at this point. But I enjoyed a lot of the banter; it was very good. Some of the attempts at naming. I think I really liked a good sort of summary of us is like Nira attempting to be sort of the reasonable one, and then on a nat 1 just being like, all right, fine, I guess I'll also have a jetpack. I'll also put boosters on my thing and leap the chasm.
That was pretty great.
And it worked.
And it worked with flying colors. Yeah.
The first time.
Literally.
Why do we bother trying to be reasonable? Because we just keep learning the wrong lessons. That was really good. I like that. Yeah, that was really cool. How many there's like 3 episodes left?
Yeah, after this one, I think there's 3 left.
It's coming down to the wire. I'm very excited.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really excited for all of that. You can find me here every week for the next 3 for Lightbringer, and otherwise on Twitter at the name. But that was a wonderful session. Thank you, Carson. Thank you, Raven, and chat. It was lovely being here as always.
Absolutely. Gwen, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part was like we were just going along and then Zool just had to be like, and Bob says hi, and then they're like, oh wait Bob, wait, that wasn't Bob. That was the best thing ever.
That was really fun. I enjoyed that too.
That was absolutely my favorite part.
Where can we find you next?
I think there's a Friday thing. Yeah, there is a Friday thing. Am I in that? Is that confirmed?
Yes, you are in the one shot that's happening Friday. We're still trying to find out which game it's going to be, but yeah, you're in it either way.
Yeah.
Also, tomorrow is Tuesday, so we should have Hunters of Calamity.
Oh, there's that thing.
Also.
As usual,
Yeah.
we're forgetting about tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh.
Does tomorrow
It's like-
exist?
No, there's only Zool.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. With that, we'll pass it on to Econorlax. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Oh, my favorite part was where the dice rolls, who were pretty determined to turn everything on its head today. The roles we failed usually were raging success. The roles we were good were critical failures. Yeah, let's roll with the weird, literally.
Definitely.
You can find me most probably in a week's time, maybe in a week's time here. Again, as Nira, in this amazing group that's with not yet decided name.
Yes. Unaccompanied Children is still my favorite.
Oh yeah. That's the perfect name. Actually, that's the perfect name. Yeah.
Go!
Go, unaccompanied children.
Oh.
So thank you
Fantastic.
for today's game, and see you next week for even more fun.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, we've got Michael. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like
I
to share?
had multiples. The one as the group would be when we jumped the gorge.
Yes.
Individually, Nira, it was the whole, well, with the axe and just like howling and all that. Xavier, it was the coleslaw scene. And because I also am messy, Conrad in the potion I loved that. That was just so good. Oh, I can't wait to see
That was
how
really
that
good.
works out. You can find me on Twitter. The only big thing like I can think of is critical pins. They are currently 1,000 away from their goal. 36 hours left to go. They are really close. When they get that unlocked, they also will have the pronouns added on to the pin. So if you back in for a regular pin, you will get for free a purple pronoun pin to go with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I believe I might be on So Chatty Matt on Saturday for Shakespeare in Quarantine.
Nice.
I think that covers everything. If I forget about something, it'll be on my Twitter, which you can see at Michael Wayne. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm pulling for you.
Fantastic. My favorite parts. I also loved the. Oh, it's cool. We're on the same team. No big deal. I'm just passing through.
Yeah, that was the best.
And
part.
Yeah, it's
getting the heads will be like,
leading into
oh
it.
yeah, it's totally fine. That was a blast. And I mean, the whole thing was great. I continue to absolutely adore the way you all throw, reasonable choices to the wind. Like, hey, we could have a helicopter or a spaceship, and no, we're gonna ride a bike with jet engines over this gorge. I love it. It's fantastic.
Or hey, I want
and,
coleslaw. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. That recurring theme throughout the whole thing has just been amazing. And I also did enjoy that unexpected twist with Conrad chucking the potion away. That was pretty cool. As for where you can find me next, I will be back here tomorrow night, same time. It's at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'll be DMing Hunters of Calamity, which is a Monster of the Week take on Borderlands. It is, with the group that we have, it's basically a dumpster fire on wheels, blaring battle polka music.
With flames on the side.
With flames on the side.
And inside.
It's and inside and outside and everywhere. It's pure chaos and it's so much fun. So definitely come check that out tomorrow if you have the chance. And I think that's about it for what I have to share there. So actually there's one more thing. Speaking of Patreon, at the beginning of the session, I did want to mention, if you want to go check that out, not only for the viewer action stuff, but right now, probably till the end of the month, I do have everything unlocked, so you don't even have to be a patron to see all the new art and stuff that I'm putting out over there. And that's in an effort to give people something nice to look at or interesting to look at while we're all stuck inside, unable to do a lot of the stuff that we normally would. So I just put out a lot of stuff just this week, so go take a look at it. Hopefully enjoy it. And it's all open at least until the end of the month, so enjoy that while it's there. With that, we're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Milady Saito, fantastic, wonderful person and streamer. Killer cast over there right now as well. So definitely give Saito and everybody else on there a follow if you're not following them already. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.